we were threatened by George Soros. I was threatened by George Soros through a member of his team. And my guy had lunch with this guy because he asked for lunch. Mr. Soros would like to speak to, it was Joel Cheatwood at the time, would like to speak to Mr. Cheatwood about what your boss is doing on air. And I was told to stop talking about George Soros because, quote, your boss is hurting my boss, and it will end. And when Joel said, no, I don't think that's going to end. I know my boss, and I don't think he's going to stop. He said, I don't think you understand. He is going to stop. And you should just let your boss know that the ship is about to sail. Now, this is 2009. Everything that is needed is on board, and everyone's getting onto the boat, and it's about to set sail. And you do not want to be left on the dock. But it's setting sail, and it's going to leave, and your boss and you people are not going to be on it. And our response was, good, I don't want to be on a ship with you. But that is really what's happening right now. We're talking today about the collapse of France, or what is coming as a collapse in France, and how just nobody's noticing. Well, that's our country too. That's weird. And imagine they're in this situation now where they can't afford to do the things they're doing. Imagine what's going to happen when you cut off all of the immigrants. When you stop paying them for not working, when all of a sudden all of that goes away, do you think they're going to be happy about it? Do you think they're going to not light the streets on fire? I mean, and how are they going to afford to be able to hold that together? I mean, it's remarkable. And how does the BBC report this today?
The BBC report on this is absolutely hilarious. I love this quote. Simply put, France's government has for decades spent more money than it has generated. As a result, it has to borrow to cover its budget. So this is the West looking at France and saying, we didn't get caught by the principal smoking cigarettes. That was those other kids, the French. They're the ones that were smoking those cigarettes.
And they're still doing it. They're all on the verge, including us. We are all on the verge of collapse, and nobody's recognizing it. Everybody's like, yeah, look at the dummies in France.
You mentioned migration, though, and I think that's really, really huge to this, because this is exactly what's his name, Lord Voldemort, was talking about. I mean, he's talking about the Cloward and Piven strategy on a national scale. Mm-hmm. What they're talking about, what's happening with France here, is exactly what happened in New York City, what Cloward and Piven did in New York City back in the 70s.
I know.
Then what do you think migration is going to do? It's going to continue that overwhelming. It is
the point of migration. It is the point of this migration.
And we should point out as well, they're attempting to do it again in New York right now, right? Like, this is all starting. We are months away from a guy winning a mayoral election potentially, where he will implement all of this and worse. He will try to skip multiple generations of the buildup toward it and just cut to the chase and give you some version of socialism in a city that, while thankfully now far away from where I live, also has a massive influence on the economy of not only our country, but the world. It's the financial center of the world we're talking about these policies being implemented in. We are on the verge.
Here's how split the people are from the elites. There is an ad that was apparently blocked in the UK, but it was made by Coinbase for the UK. And the whole ad is called Everything is Fine. Okay? And I just want to play some of it here. This is an ad blocked in the UK.
Everything is just fine. Everything is great. We're soldiering on. We're doing our bit. We're off to Dubai.
It's time to jump ship.
We're finding our bells with a stiff on our lip. 'Cause everything's just fine.
Wow. Everything's just fine. Don't change anything. Coinbase.
As society falling apart all around them the entire time.
I mean, if that isn't true, I mean, that shows you how the British people actually feel. I'm convinced of it. The actual people, just like here in America, we know everything's not fine. But imagine over there, it is much, much worse. And you're not allowed to say those things. And this ad proves it because it's blocked in the UK.
Yeah, people are looking at France right now because of the news, but people should be looking at the UK. I mean, every single day it looks like, oh my gosh, they're going to erupt.
I just saw an article this morning about the car industry in France. In England. It's over. It's over. The Mini, which was the only thing really holding up the car industry. You know, I mean, they used to have Jaguar and Range Rover. They're now being built overseas. The Mini is now moving all of the jobs over to China. China is going to be building the Mini now. Well, what's left for the British worker? I mean, it's just
to protest out in the streets, pretty much. Have you seen? Have you seen their version of Sabo?
No, yeah,
Banksy.
Banksy, yeah.
Yeah, did you see his latest art was a judicial or judge beating a protester with his gavel, and they immediately responded. The authorities did by covering it up and posting 2 armed guards until they can get it painted over. They are terrified of their people right now. Terrified. And they're arresting people for unfurling flags at demonstrations, British and English flags.
So the English flag is the one that is really curious to me. The English flag is white and red. So if you see the red, white, and blue, the British flag has all the stripes. The red stripes represent the English flag, okay? And that's just a red cross in the center of a white flag. So that's part of the British flag. And what they did is people are starting to say, well, I'm English, and I am proud to be English, because they're dismantling England. And I'm proud to be. And they are now arresting children for wearing T-shirts with the English flag on it. Are you kidding me? Did you see the guy, the veteran that was protesting in the streets, and all he was doing was displaying a flag? He was displaying an English flag. He's a veteran. He was in a wheelchair, and they picked him up and put him in the paddy wagon. That's not going to last. That is not going to last. How are you going to afford defense and national defense inside? You're not. You're not. Your enemies are within the gates now. And it's happening here, just slower. And if we don't wake up soon, it's going to happen, because the entire West is going to collapse. I saw a video yesterday from a couple of people that claim to be CIA people. I don't know if they are or not. I don't even know what that means if they are. But they were making a very good case on everything's just fine. What they're saying is exactly what George Soros' guy said to my guy back in 2009. We were threatened by George Soros. I was threatened by George Soros through a member of his team. And my guy had lunch with this guy because he asked for lunch. Mr. Soros would like to speak to, it was Joel Cheatwood at the time, would like to speak to Mr. Cheatwood about what your boss is doing on air. And I was told to stop talking about George Soros because, quote, it is your boss is hurting my boss, and it will end. And when Joel said, no, I don't think that's going to end. I know my boss, and I don't think he's going to stop. He said, I don't think you understand. He is going to stop. And you should just let your boss know that the ship is about to sail. Now, this is 2009. Everything that is needed is on board, and everyone's getting onto the boat, and it's about to set sail. And you do not want to be left on the dock. But it's setting sail, and it's going to leave, and your boss and you people are not going to be on it. And our response was, good, I don't want to be on a ship with you. But that is really what's happening right now. And what these supposed CIA agents said was the die has been cast now. It's beyond being able to go back and fix it. It is going to morph. Now, what is it going to morph into? And they were making the case that basically what was in that ad from Coinbase, it had two people in like a BMW or something. And the husband said, something like, it's time to get to Dubai, and so they're leaving, because the rich will get out. They will get out. Exactly what Lord Monckton said as well just a few minutes ago. They'll get out. And then you're left behind. And we have to decide right now, what is it we're fighting for? What is it that is essential that we keep? Because if this socialism thing goes, America, we're about to see one of the darkest predictions that I have made come true if we don't turn this around. And that is, if America goes dark with the powers that we have, the technology that we have, the ability that we have, we will make the Nazis look like rookies. And it's true. China is already doing it. And if we are not careful, that is the road we will go down. It is imperative that we support the youth, that we look to them and build them up in healthy ways by teaching them, by mentoring them, by showing them that there is hope in the future. I want to spend some time. There's a new poll out today on Gen Z that shows that there's a gender divide in Gen Z. And it's way beyond politics. It goes into gender, marriage, children, and success. And the problem is that the men in Gen Z, the boys in Gen Z, they get it. But the women have been so entirely lost to this socialism thing, they don't even know where to find happiness. And we're going to get into that.